Two types of borrowing. According to me and some other people, we like to break it into two buckets. Simple. The simple loan is named, you're going to love this, because it's kind of simple. The opt-in, opt-out is named opt-in, opt-out because you can opt in or you can opt out. I will explain. The simple loan, the corporation borrows the funds. Loan costs, loan repayment costs, part of the corporation's budget. The budget is assessed and allocated to the unit owners in accordance with the bylaws, which typically is unit factors, but not necessarily. Look at the bylaws. It's easy to administer, right? Hence, a simple loan. And we have to get it approved. The owners, they vote. We got a simple loan. Figure out what the costs are, roll it on out. Easy peasy, nice and easy. The simple loan. Simple loan example would be you need $1 million for $1 million capital project. The loan repayment and all setup costs are expense to the corporation. You get $1 million in, and you start repaying that $1 million loan. If it's amortized over 10 years, over a 10-year period. Okay? Over 20 years, over a 20-year period. And again, the costs are set out and they're figured out as part of your budgeting. Simple. Opt-in, opt-out. Now, opt-in, opt-out is done because, remember what I said, some people don't like to have a loan. And so what do? You give them the opportunity to opt out. So they take a look at what is, well, geez, instead of paying a special assessment, let's say my piece is 15 grand, I don't want to have a loan for that. I don't want to have an extra $200 a month in condo fees. I want to pay mine out. I want to pay out my share. I want to opt out of the loan. Okay? So, what's the problem with opting out? Congratulations, you're that test case. You're the first one that defaults. I paid my 15 grand. What's the big hammer for the lenders? The big hammer. To special levy. If your bylaws specifically provide that your condo fees are allocated on a unit factor basis, which is the default under the Act, then when that special levy goes out, you're levied in accordance with the bylaws in the Act, right? How can you break it out? The Act specifically states that you can allocate contributions on a basis other than unit factors if the bylaws set it out. But if your bylaws are silent, the only way you can special assess is on a unit factor basis. So this will result in what? A mess, right? I was having a conversation with the VP of one of the banks about this several years ago, and I was advocating for the only way I think that this should be done. There's other ways to do it, but I just don't touch them. And it's this mess. It will result in lawyers everywhere, right? So the opt-in, opt-out, it does provide options. And the main option is you got people that don't want the loan. But if they succeed in their personal desire not to have a loan, what does that do to the people that need the loan? We've already reviewed that. You've ruined them, right? And so sometimes when you got loans that are on the cusp of getting approved, and I was in a room once with another person here, and it was a vote to approve a loan or not. And every single person that had that vote was a swing vote. It was like 50.4 against 49.6, okay? And so when you've got a situation where the loan might not approve, giving someone the option to opt out becomes compelling. However, here's my take on it. One way in which, well, the way I recommend it always, consider a bylaw change. And so I've probably done this a dozen times. You have a bylaw that specifically states, here's my big bucket of condo costs on a unit factor basis, and then here's the cost of the loan. And that's going to be allocated amongst those that haven't prepaid, amongst the unit factors for that group. And so you're going to have some people that have prepaid will have lower condo fees. And other people that haven't have higher condo fees because they're participating in the loan. And the bylaw makes it expressly clear that the costs of the loan are allocated amongst those people on a pro rata basis according to their condo fees or whatever, the unit factors that are participating in it. And so if there ever is a special assessment by the lender, who is the special assessment going to be to? Those participating in the loan, because it expressly says it in the bylaws. Now, there are other ways that some people do it. I will talk about that briefly. So opt-in, opt-out example. You got $1 million, the capital project. Half the owners want to prepay. So you only need 500 grand. You got 500,000 in cash, and you need another $500,000. So if owner A pays out their share of a special assessment, and the owner and another owner takes, owner B got deleted, sorry. Owner B takes advantage of the loan, then A expects B to pay all the costs of the loan. Repayment, setup, administration, everything. So those taking advantage of the loan, it's not their loan, remember. They're just the ones on the hook for paying. So, simple versus opt-in, opt-out. It's an issue of owner preference, whatever you want to set it up. Owner perceptions, it's not everyone that pays out the loan that has the money. I've seen people that easily could pay out a loan, but they choose not to pay out the loan sometimes when they have the option for reasons unique to them. They think it doesn't make financial sense. There's complexity of administration if you do an opt-in, opt-out. Your bookkeeper, your accountant, your property manager, you can't mess that up, right? It's going to change to a degree your estoppel, your information statements. You got to get the numbers right.